Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus, and I'm going to give you the latest update on what's going on with the rest of the storm system. It always showed Friday and Saturday was always going to be the worst, and they did upgrade Saturday to all the severe weather we've been talking about. However, yesterday we had somewhat a cap. So Thursday never showed it had a lot of potential. There was some areas, chances for thunderstorms, damage and wind, some hail. They even upgraded over southern Kansas like I showed you. But thank God we did not have any tornado reports for yesterday. Now for today, it's going to grow. Today's a big day. Today you got your tornado threat, and it is going into tomorrow. Remember, we did talk about it going into Saturday, and it did grow all the way into the Carolinas. So I'm going to go through that. I'm going to go through this map in just a moment. I want to show you something real quick. Then we're going to come right back to this so we can get our timing on these storms. One thing I'd like to point out before we get going, you can see with National Weather Service your chance for your tornadoes for today, and you can see your cities at risk. When you look at the latest on NATOcast, it's bringing it more intense into eastern Alabama, going into Georgia as well. So just be aware of that. It's showing this line is pushing further and further to the east. And we still got that tornado threat going into the southeast for tomorrow. So here's your official cities at risk for the tornado threat for Saturday. Now you can look at the setup for today. We don't have those fluttering 60s, low 60s like we had yesterday, and we don't have all them high clouds in the atmosphere stopping these storms from growing. We actually got the 70s right here as we go along for today. 70 dew points climbing up, and this is going all the way to the southeast as well. Look at this, big 70 dew points climbing all the way up, and you're going to see this go into the Carolinas as well as you go into Saturday. Big 70 dew points climbing all the way up. When you look at your lift, that's going to be in that same area as it goes through the day. Also for tomorrow, showing a lot of cape, a lot of strong lift for tomorrow as well. So as you look and see what the outcome is, you get a lot of particulates in the atmosphere. You get some thunderstorms growing up. You still got a strong jet stream overhead. And you can see with significant tornado perimeters, that is your best place where you could get a tornado as these cells move across for this morning. And then it grows for this afternoon. You can see right here on your significant tornado perimeters, factors in your wind shear, your cape, your lift, your best atmosphere to get a potential tornado. You can see it is strong for southeastern Louisiana, for southern Mississippi, southern Alabama as you go through the afternoon. Moving across the panhandle and raising up as it goes through Georgia as well. But you can see with your storms that you do have some strong cells that is coming back. Also what is coming off the Gulf. Very strong cells passing through, bring you chances for tornadoes. Now, I'm going to go through this with WSV3 so you can get a better timing and what the hail course could look like. But you can see this does move across as you go through tonight, as you get these storm cells moving by. So you're going to have a big flutter that's going to move through, bringing you potential damage and winds. Right after that is where you're going to start growing these cells that could possibly spin up a tornado. You can see with your significant tornado perimeters, that is where it is following. It's not following the storms in front of it. It's following those cells that form up right behind it as it passes through late tonight, overnight, and goes in for tomorrow. This goes into Georgia. It goes into South Carolina. By the time you go into 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, you got that big flutter passing through, bring you chances for your damage and winds. But look how you start getting all these isolated supercells that be rotating in the atmosphere, potentially spin up. Maybe a lot of water spouts coming from offshore and going on land as you go through Saturday morning all the way till noontime, bringing all these discrete supercells all the way across, all the way into North Carolina as you go through tomorrow evening. So you definitely got to watch these cells that are passing by after you get that flutter, because you're going to get a little flutter of storms that's going to zing on through, maybe some damage and winds come with that. But right after that is where your tornado threat is going to start raising up. And you can see this with your significant tornado parameters. It starts raising up, gets really strong. Matter of fact, South Carolina, right around 2 p.m. tomorrow, showing those cells passing by is your best chance for a tornado out of our whole setup. None of them have it that strong of significant tornado perimeters as that passes through. And that is passing by for tomorrow afternoon, going by Columbia, then going by Myrtle Beach in North Carolina. I will show you on WSV3 so we can see the cities a little bit better. I just want to show you the atmosphere before we go into that. So as we take a closer look at these storms as we go through for this morning, you can see everything that's coming across the south. So all the way from eastern Texas, come across Louisiana, southern Mississippi, going to southern Alabama. As you go into the evening, you can see how everything's a little bit northern now, and so is the risk. So it could be a hidden cell that's in there. But look at this. You do start getting some hail cores moving through over here by Oakdale by the time you go through 4 p.m. Now, this is just what the radar is hinting at. This could easily move a little bit further east or west. Just be aware of that. But we got this big flurry of storms that is pushing through, and you can see it gets intense just for a moment as we go through the evening. So once you go towards noontime, you're going to have these storms racing across to the east, and they're strong storms. They're not super powerful. There's not a whole bunch of hail cores in there, but there is some hail cores in there. With the setup on the atmosphere, I expect these to start strengthening as we go through the evening, and then for tomorrow really start building up to something. So you can see as you go through 10 o'clock tonight, you got all that flurries moving through all the way till midnight across the Carolinas. But then you got those cells that come right behind that. And those are the ones that you're going to have to watch out for that could possibly be tornadic. Look at this, possibly overnight, early in the morning, passing by Eatonton, passing by southern Atlanta. Some hail cores in these cells as it goes towards Jamestown, South Carolina. And as it goes through the morning, still pushes through with these hail cores. And then as you go towards the evening, watch how it sparks right back up. Look, you got hail cores all along from the Panhandle, all the way to southern Georgia, all the way towards South Carolina. You can see the curve in the storms. Bring a lot of storms by, bringing chances for tornadoes all the way to 10, 11 o'clock. And then it's going to start going for tomorrow evening. Look how it just sparks up as you go into tomorrow evening. You get a lot of hail cores coming through southern Georgia as well, and you got these storm cells coming off the Gulf Coast, coming through Florida, and you got those cells starting to pop up for South Carolina also as you go through the evening, moving in towards North Carolina once you go towards 5 p.m. Just be aware this is Central Time, but you do have these cells passing by, still giving you that threat for tomorrow evening. So after this big system pushes offshore, bringing some chances for tornadoes, some damage and winds, you still got these rogue cells that are right after it, still putting you in that threat. So just be aware, you do have chances for hail, you do have chances for damage and winds, and you do have chances for tornadoes all the way till Saturday. Plus the northern side, you're going to see a lot of storms on the northern side. This is all going all morning, all the way up towards Wisconsin, towards Michigan. And once you go all the way through the afternoon, this is where it starts moving to the east, and then it's going to turn into your snowstorm. So these storms go all afternoon long, raising up, not bringing the severe weather. It's just going to be some thunderstorms in nature. But as you go overnight tonight, then tomorrow these storms come right across, bring it right across the Tennessee, Ohio Valley, right across Pennsylvania by noontime for tomorrow, transitioning into some snowfall as these storms pivot for the intercoastal northeast. Bringing you some snow on that as well, but you are getting storms moving right behind that. It's going to wash a lot of that away. Now you can also see when you look at your lightning strikes for the Euro, the chances for our large hail. And you can use lightning strikes for this. Lightning strikes shows where a storm is strengthening, and when you start getting that strengthening storm, you get that strong updraft. Now the more lightning strikes, the more chances you'll keep that rain drop circling, keep pulling it up, getting it bigger and bigger and bigger. Before you know it, you got large hail. Showing chances for large hail in that white coming across southeastern Texas this morning. Going across Louisiana, chances for large hail by 10 o'clock. And as that moves through southern Mississippi by lunchtime. And look how it keeps going for the afternoon. And as it goes for tomorrow, builds right back up again. Chances for large hail for southern Alabama. Going through the Panhandle, that is chances for large hail. That is a lot of lightning strikes as you go through overnight. Early in the morning, these cells come right across the Panhandle, right across Georgia, into South Carolina, and you can see a lot of lightning strikes coming with those as well. So it does look like better chances for hail is going to be for today and overnight, but we still got great chances for tornadoes also for tomorrow. Showing when you look at your updraft helicity, that those chances for hail to come out of those storms is pretty strong. You can see as you go through the evening, it goes from northeastern Texas into southern Arkansas, from southeastern Texas through central and northern Louisiana, through southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, going into Georgia. Then when it goes to South Carolina, it starts dissipating a little bit, going into offshore. Then you get to afternoon storms moving in for Saturday, bringing more chances for hail. That's where the strengthening was for your tornadoes also. A lot of chances for hail to come out of these storms all the way until Saturday. Now you can see with National Weather Service, GFS was correct. This is bringing a wide area of heavy rainfall. Always been showing anywhere from 4 to 6 inches right in this region from GFS, and we are seeing that now. So every now and then the models do shine, and it does go towards the northeast with your rainfall as well. You're going to get a wide area of 1 inch all across the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, all the way into Michigan. 1 inch of rainfall coming with those storms as you go through the weekend, and some of that is going to turn into snowfall as well. Not a lot, but as that system pulls by, it will pull back on the wraparound and bring some people 1 to 2 inches, but showing a big hot spot for western Pennsylvania and western New York, maybe getting 5 and 6 inches. Then you got the higher elevations for northern New York and for New England getting the most snowfall. This is just until Monday. We got more storms coming. But you can see the wide shot here, and you see it also coming in for Washington, California, and Oregon from that tail whip from that storm in the Pacific. But this is bringing your chances for the flash flooding. You can see how it's still got that heavy and moderate level. You got the marginal going all the way into Michigan now, but now you got that slight risk going all the way from Louisiana all the way to South Carolina, and you got that moderate level going all the way from Georgia all the way to eastern Mississippi. A big area for heavy rainfall. That's where you're going to see that 4 to 6 inches of flooding. Be careful for that. That will start to add up on the streets. Now, tomorrow it's going to move right up the coast, and we do have that marginal all the way from northern Florida all the way into New York, all the way towards the northeast. But we do get that slight risk that's growing for the Carolinas for Saturday. This is for flash flooding. So be aware if you're out there on the streets, if you got to drive, it could be a lot of buildup, especially on those dead-end neighborhoods. Be careful of that. Now, Sunday, it will go to the northeast, mostly towards Maine. And then we got a next system coming in for Monday. So I will keep you updated as this progresses. Showing also it will raise up to the 40 to the 50 miles per hour wind gusts as that system pushes through. You can see it for the southern side of Georgia as well. Higher elevations of North Carolina going into Virginia and West Virginia. And bringing some good winds for the northeast all the way through Sunday. Bringing the 40s and bringing the 50s right along coast. High 50s on that. Just be aware that it is bringing some strong winds with that storm system. Quick update on you on what's going on with this next system and your temperatures you got to look forward to. We got some cold temperatures coming through. We still got that deep trough coming through all the way through the 20th on the west coast. That is going to bring our next setup of storms. So remember, as we start to get that deep trough going on, and we're talking about a deep trough going all the way down into the eastern Pacific, as this storm system comes across. So it starts growing in the south. If you've never been here before, we actually get this cold front that pulls through. This is going to be our second one. We got one coming for this weekend and might make this a cutoff low where it's bringing the storms in the south. We know it's going to bring some flooding. We just don't know what yet is coming out of that setup. It is going to be for next week. So make sure you click the bell. That way you get the updates. And you can already see the updates. National Weather Service don't have anything out yet. But between College State University and SIPS, as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, you can see here on CSU showing us some severe weather potential. And you can see this also for SIPS. Then as we go Thursday into Friday, also, you can see it does grow along the southern side with that big brown. That'd be at a little 2% as well. But you can see also on SIPS showing that we do have a strengthening storm going for next week. Way up by your jet stream that you have a lot of cold air aloft coming with that system, and you got a lot of cold air coming with that cold front that's going to smash through as well, bringing some very cold temperatures and some very cold wind chills, just like this weekend. And precipitation. Look how it's bringing a lot of heavy rainfall for Washington, Oregon, and Northern California when that comes in, and from the central all the way towards the east coast, bringing more flooding. Also, potential snow. It could be more than that. We will see. It's all about timing in that region from Nebraska through the UP of Michigan, all the way through Wisconsin. A potential snowstorm. I'm showing maybe a little heavier. And so far, we do have a watch out for the heavy rainfall from the 15th and the 16th, and flooding expected in this gray stripe lines. This will move around. I will keep you updated. Now let's go through what you can expect for your temperatures for tomorrow morning. You're going to have the cold temperatures coming all the way towards the southern side, bringing everyone in freezing temperatures. Now remember, your wind chills is going to be the worst part of this transition. Higher elevations of Wyoming and Colorado and even Idaho. You could get negative wind chills as this passes through, and for the upper Midwest for the Dakotas and Minnesota. Now don't worry, your highs will warm right back up for Saturday. This is how it's going to be every day. For Sunday, so here it comes down again with those freezing temperatures going across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley now. But remember, the wind chills is going to be the worst. It's more widespread. So a lot more people are going to feel like they're in the 20s and not actually be in the 20s. But it will be high once again and be warm for Sunday once we go through the evening. Bringing 60s all the way up, even 40s all the way into Canada. Now here we go for Monday, coming down again, bringing some pockets of freezing temperatures as that storm system pushes off. This is what's giving you some snowfall on the wraparound. But you can see right along the coast, it is going to be just too warm. But once again, the wind chills making it a lot colder for a lot more people that's not even in freezing temperatures. But here goes our warm-up, because it's going to start getting warm after that. Then we got our next system that's going to pull through, and it is bringing a cold front with that as well. Showing that as we go towards the 20th, we're going to transition with some below average temperatures that's going to kick in for the 20s of March. Really for Canada, also for the upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and for the intercoastal Northeast. And that moves out for the end of March. Still leaving a little bit below average, but we will be going into our spring and a little bit below average for the beginning of April still. Thank you for your time, everybody. I hope you have a very great day. Hope you all be very safe. I was going to upload tomorrow, but I see people really not tuning in, so I don't think they really care, or they think they're okay, or they just don't want to hear from me. I don't know which one it is. Either way, I hope you have a very great day, and I wish every single one of y'all to be safe. But before you go, some wise words. Proverbs 22, 6 through 9. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. He that soweth iniquity shall reap vanity, and the rod of his anger shall fail. He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed, for he giveth of his bread to the poor. Amen. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And hope he always keeps you safe, you and your family, and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day. Be safe. And happy Friday.